what you see in the movie could be the beginning of something, you know, really bad, like a global thing, you know.
Right.
So it's definitely a piece.
Go forward. Just peek. So I can be like this. Okay. Yeah, we're going. This is rehearsal.
This is the behind the scenes.
And I can understand why people would go crazy if all the water they were drinking was contaminated, and if you drank the bad water, you would become sick. I mean, we have things kind of happen like that. We have an egg scare right now, and you know, the massive recalls, but we've never had anything where it is something that everyone needs. And I think that's one of the things that makes this a little bit more intense.
Hey, let us in! Come on!
It's definitely a controversial piece. It's a thriller / awareness film, you know. And something like this really could happen in real life, you know. It's definitely an eye-opener.
Next sprint to the store. Here we go. Action! Forget this! Let's get it!
Do you believe that that is a real depiction of what would happen if we had a shortage of water?
I think that it's a starting point. I think it would probably be even worse than this, to a very global kind of scale. And but it's just a little peek into what the nature within people comes out when there's desperateness, when people don't know what to do. It shows that side of people of what could happen. And so I think it's good for people to see that, to look at themselves and maybe change something in case something like that should happen.
So what are your thoughts on the film? This being a film that's not like your normal comedy, love story. It's about a very sensitive topic. What are your thoughts on it?
Certainly timely. I mean, we went through a disaster in the Gulf with this oil spill that was unprecedented, and it was a shame, and I think it was a great job by Brian to kind of pull things together and pull some excellent actors together. And I'm not talking about myself, Chris and Brian and Jackie and some of these other guys and gals around the set. They put together a film in a short amount of time that was, you know, really talked a lot about a topic that needs to be talked about.
Timing is incredibly essential in this film, and I think people need to be aware that, yeah, the oil rig blew up in the Gulf months ago, but it's still a problem, and even though they think they fixed it now. But we can't forget that water is not infinite. There's a limited supply, and it doesn't just affect our drinking, but also what we consume and we eat. Fish are coming up dead. You know, you can't consume that, especially if you're a vegetarian. So, I mean, it's a crisis, and people really need to be aware of that.
I need you, because we're all going to see you too. Give me your eyes. Like you really...
I used to live in Louisiana, where it got affected with the oil spill, and my family's still there. And so I'm upset because it's killing so many fish, birds, and at school we had the Scholastic News, and it showed a pelican all full of oil, and it's just affecting everywhere.
I think that it brings attention to something that is very essential to our lives, which is water. I mean, water is everything. It's through us right now. It's everywhere. And the fact that it could be contaminated and it cannot always be restored is a very alarming, you know, fact to deal with. And I think that this brings about that we need to be more conscious with what we do with our earth and water and how we handle things, because, you know, as people very like me, and not thinking about what could happen as a result of all of this.
On the set of H2O, Supply and Demand, there were a lot of different actors, about 12 different actors. How was it working with all those actors in the heat of the day?
Well, the heat of the day, oh my gosh. I felt like I was river dancing on the devil's butt cheeks. I mean, it was hot. It was scorching. Can I say that?
Well, first of all, it was a hot day. Even though I think we filmed it in February or so, it's still a hot day in Florida. So one of the things I did was I didn't drink hardly anything all day. trying to get into that mode of being thirsty, being desperate for water. And before each scene, as these guys would know, I would kind of get myself in like a football mode. I'd scream and.
It's kind of creepy, but.
Really?
Yeah, because when he did his football thing, it was like he was like screaming, so it was like made me all freaked out and everything.
All right, here we go.
But that's okay.
Just try to get to that place every single scene, and it was challenging, but I think it was a lot of fun as well.
Well, like I said, everyone hated me.
Step back. You on the other hand, you're frustrated and fed up. Fuck, I'm going.
No, and it was really fun. I met a lot of people, you know, just great people, and I had a blast playing that part.
I think the connection that we all felt while I was filming was, it felt real.
Your hair's good like that too.
Really?
Yeah. Awesome.
Do I need some Soul Glow?
Get some Soul Glow.
And it felt, I think we're all pretty thirsty by the end of the day. But it was good. I think everybody got along really, really well and really knew that we were a part of something very important.
The heat, the elements that we were being put under for that set, it puts you into the mood of it very quickly. You're uncomfortable. You're standing out there. You feel the vapors coming off the concrete. You feel like you're baking. And all you can think about is getting water. And it's very easy to flip that switch in the back of your mind of what, you know, taking yourself out and putting yourself in a real moment. How crazy could you get if you were really in this moment?
Keep the same snap tune to the small space when they bum rush. Aha, Joe! Take that!
How was it working with Brian Orkins as a director?
It's a lot of fun. He lets you do many things in it, and he's just a creative guy that's like nice and everything, and he works with us well. And he's like kid friendly and things like that. And that's what I like, because some directors are like strict and like, do this or else. But he's a nice guy, he's flexible, and I really like that.
Oh, Brian it's incredibly fun. He's extremely gifted. I mean, he knows what he wants, and I mean, there's no boundaries. I was able to just do some crazy stuff. Of course, I was in character. It was just a blast. I mean, I can just see him just skyrocketing. Watch out, Spielberg.
I enjoy working with Brian. He wheels and deals. I'll say it like that. He gets out on set, and I kind of like the spontaneity that he has with it. He's a very organic director, I would say. He doesn't come in and say, this is what you're going to do. Here's my storyboard. I want it exactly like this. He allows the actors to collaborate with him. So it's more of a communion than it is a director giving direction and this is exactly what I want. And what actor doesn't like that? So.
Working with Brian is great. He's so professional and he cares about the whole cast and everybody, the crew of the cast and everything. He's a lot of fun. I can relate to him very well, which is always a great thing to have a connection with your director.
Brian really has done a job. I think he has his heart and mind in the right place about telling a story. I like directors that can tell a story but also want to shake things up, make an impact. And he asked me to be a part of it, and I knew that he was going to put his foot down and do something really daring and challenging and get people to think. Get people to think outside the box, and this movie definitely does that.
But is that what, drew you to this film, or?
I just want to work with Brian, what?
Just a little bit of water. Just spit in my mouth, man! I'll have to use that one, right? Come on, just spit in my mouth!